You're recorded.
Pam, thank you for your time. I
Yes.
appreciate getting a chance to come in and just talk to you for a few minutes.
Looking forward to it.
Well, good. I'm glad to hear that. I'll tell you, to be very honest, what got my attention about meeting with you, just talking to you about the business, I got this gorgeous postcard in the mail.
Oh, well then
Oh.
that means that somebody you or somebody at your house has actually purchased something from us before.
Well, I will say to that, not yet, but it really got my attention because I love David Yurman jewelry.
I see that. I see that. So, but can I do you ask you a favor
Sure.
before you leave, if you don't mind? Would you share your address with me, please? Because we are not that we don't want you as a customer. We would love to have you as a customer, but we our mailings, our direct mailings, are supposed to go to our current customers only. So I was a little curious
Right.
as to how you. So I'd like to follow back up with my direct mail company. If you don't mind sharing your address
Not
with
at all,
me.
not at all. In fact, I had a customer, about a month ago. We had a similar situation, and I just did no problem because I know you don't spend money to have things that don't work. So
Yeah, and don't get me wrong, we would love to have you
Well,
as a
you know,
customer. I'll
well,
be glad to sell you something.
I'm sure
afterwards.
you would, and I love David Yurman jewelry. I've had this bracelet for 10 years, wear it every day. They're indestructible. They look everything, and they're beautiful. Anyway, but I got this, and I was like, I know I'm not a customer yet, but I hope to be one, and it kind of piqued my curiosity to learn more about your business.
Okay.
Let me be very clear with you. I'm not here to sell you anything
Okay.
at this point. I just wanted to talk to you. I know this Thomas Jewelers has been around for a long time.
Yeah, it has.
In fact, you've got a 40th anniversary coming up.
Yes.
Yes.
Getting very close to one.
Yes.
Next year.
And as you know, because you've done marketing for jewelry stores before, and I think you've probably been here for a while, I get the impression that you know what's going on.
Just 20 years.
Yeah, well, I've been doing media for years too, so I understand where you're coming from. Don't ask me for a rate card. Don't ask me for a canned proposal. I don't work that way. Obviously, you're interested in marketing the jewelry store, and who is not interested in increasing their customer base and meeting new challenges.
Yeah.
So I just wanted to ask you a few questions. This won't take long. This won't hurt, I promise.
Okay.
But again, I make my living helping my customers and helping new customers do a better job, do a more effective job, if you would, with their marketing challenges. I've been in business for 40 years here in Atlanta, and I'm sure there's plenty of competition and a lot going on there.
Definitely.
So I also, as you probably would imagine, went to your website, saw you have a lot of beautiful jewelry.
Yes.
And
Yes, we
watches and a little bit of everything.
Yeah, we actually have quite a few pieces that are exclusive to Thomas Fine Jewelers. So.
When you say exclusive, you mean you make them yourselves, or they're only...
Actually, Catherine and Lee's son, who I happen to be married to, he has an exclusive line that he designs. Tom is my husband's name, and he has an exclusive line that he's designed for the store. Then with a couple of our other pieces, although you can find them in other places in Atlanta, there are certain pieces and certain lines that we have exclusive rights to be the only one in Atlanta selling them. And
That's got to be a huge draw for your customers that want something truly unique.
it is. It's very, very much is. That's, and Tom's done some phenomenal work for quite a few of the local celebrities here in Atlanta. As a matter
Really?
of fact, he did a custom design ring for Usher's birthday party last year.
Oh my goodness.
That was actually, Usher had it designed as a favor for like 50 of his closest friends that were.
I didn't get mine, so I guess, you know.
I didn't get one either,
Oh,
but
well,
at least I got to see the design.
you got to see it, yeah.
Yes.
That's great. And so you obviously, you realize that you've got a 40th anniversary coming up. You also admit that there are a lot of challenges. Every business in the world has its challenges. If I could just ask you, what kind of business objectives you're looking at from now to the end of the year moving forward, if you have any obviously to make more money, but can you get a little specific about?
Well, it's definitely obvious that we always want to make more money, but we're very particular about who we want in the store, because we're not the jewelry store for every person just walking off the street.
Right.
So we really do spend a lot of time on our engagement business and our bridal business, because we know that once we get the customer, if we can get them that early in their life cycle, then we have a customer for life, because of the quality and the service and the things that we do for them. We send cards if they're on their wedding day, and then we send cards on their anniversary. So that kind of thing, we know that if we can get their bridal business, then we can get a customer for life. So that's definitely one area that we really focus heavily on. And we have a lot of unique engagement pieces here as well. And then if you don't see something that you like, well, Tom can design it for you.
Right.
Which he has actually sat down and done.
I was going to say, I would guess based on just what you've told me that would be something that you could offer, a truly customized engagement and wedding ring set. And
So that's definitely one of the positions where we are looking. Again, we're always looking for any kind of new customers.
This is a great chance to ask this, define the perfect customer.
The perfect customer for us, well, I can actually, let me answer that question two ways.
Sure.
Okay, so our most common customer, okay, is usually a man, but shopping for his wife, and in some cases, and his girlfriend, instead of which we're very discreet.
Oh, you would have to be.
Yeah.
As long as they don't want 50 rings like Usher's friend. Yeah.
That's true. You're looking at a minimum household income of at least $100,000 before they're even going to begin to look at our price lines that we have. We do actually have quite a few women that come in the store, but the problem with the women coming in the store is the women are lookers. They're lookers, they're touchers, they're feelers, they're trier-honors, but they're not buyers.
Even today, I mean, you see that women are buying the cars now and planning the trips.
They're
but
still not buying the jewelry for themselves.
They don't feel like they made it, or they don't want to treat themselves to.
Very few.
That's interesting because we're inundated with information about how today's woman wants to treat herself and.
Yeah, and that's really something that we want to work on. That's something that we want to grow, is that woman, to get them to move off of from the looker, the toucher, the feeler, to actually being the buyer. We're looking for that woman who can and will come in here and shop and actually purchase something for herself. But for those who are the touchers, the feelers, the lookers, we definitely want to talk to them too, because a lot of them have the husbands or the boyfriends that will come in and buy. But we're definitely looking to try to grow that segment of women who will actually purchase for themselves.
Single women that have decent jobs.
Or even married women that are just at that point in their life that they're like, you know what?
I've earned this.
Number one, I've earned it, but number two, if he goes out and buy it, he's going to get it wrong.
Right.
So I'll just go buy it myself.
Yeah. Do you have, in this, when you mentioned that, I would imagine that probably the family members who I read on the website still work in the store on a daily basis. I mean, they're there.
Yes, Tom's here every day. His sister, Leanne, is the store manager. Both Lee and Catherine are here. Pretty much, we keep trying to get them to retire. They just don't want to.
And they probably know a lot of people, and everybody knows them.
Yeah.
And so I wonder if there's any kind of I'm sure there is a secret tunnel. It's like, I saw your wife come in, and she was really admiring the sapphire earring. I mean, you've got to be careful to make sure you've got the right. Yes, but anyway,
you've got the right one.
Yeah, because I've dealt with some custom jewelry stores, some really good ones, and there's like this whole networking system of.
Yeah, and one of the things the internet and the website have really helped us with that, because we actually we don't necessarily keep it up year round, but definitely around Mother's Day, this piece of the website, definitely around Mother's Day and Christmas, we actually have a wish list. So that person who is, that woman who is the toucher, the feeler, but not the buyer, can then go back and create her wish list, and then she can email it, or she can tweet it to her husband, she can text it, she can print it, old fashioned, she can print it out and stick it on the refrigerator, buy this.
Or put it in the car, put it on
Right.
a pillowcase, put it everywhere you can think
Everywhere
of that you
think
might
of it.
go.
But yeah,
Absolutely.
and we can also, because of the way, it's similar to a registry, but it's not really a registry, but if the wife actually does it the way we request that they do it, with their real first name and their real last name, then if the husband comes in and says, I know she wants me to buy something, but I can't remember what it was, we can actually go in on the backside
The
and pull
database
that
and
up.
pull it and say, here it is.
Yeah.
That's very good. That has to be catching on more and more as people get more savvy about it, emails and
Oh, yeah.
tweets and what it can do. And
Yeah.
how you can be a real hero without showing people
True.
how you became a hero. That's great. But you only said obviously you have a website, and it's quite complete. You've got beautiful pictures on it, and you do a good job of showing the range of products. And you update it Mother's Day and Christmas, you
Well,
said?
no, we update it daily.
Right.
We just really the wish list is on there at all times.
Right.
But during the off-peak times, it's really kind of buried in the site. But during Mother's Day and Christmas, we really promote it. We bring it more to, it's kind of like that shirt that hangs around at the store. You bring it back
Yeah.
to the front of the store at certain times of the year.
Right.
So we move it, kind of move it around and make it more prominent on the website.
So if you had to say, and I think I know the answer to this, but I want to hear you confirm what I'm thinking, your peak times would be obviously Christmas. I'm sure that's when you do a lot of your business. Mother's Day, Valentine's Day. Okay.
Valentine's Day, Mother's Day. Fourth quarter is definitely our biggest time of the year.
Right.
We will do up to about 50% of our business during I'm sorry, 40%. I said 50.
But at least 40%.
Yeah, at least 40%
Okay.
of our business during the fourth quarter. Most of that's going to be from Thanksgiving through Christmas Eve.
Christmas Eve. Are there a lot of panicky men that come in on Christmas Eve and
Yes,
go,
there
oh my
are.
God, help me?
Yes,
help me
there are.
please? Yeah.
We have actually been here as late as 9, 10, 11
I can
o'clock
believe it. Yeah.
on a Christmas Eve because somebody has panicked and realized they forgot to pick something up or.
Thank God for those. I mean,
Yeah.
That's got to be, you will gladly stay and help them out because you talk about get a customer for life.
Oh, yeah.
They won't forget you bailed them.
That's right.
That's great. That is great. I'm going to ask you a very generic question. How's business?
It's okay.
It's okay. So everyone, too much is not enough, but if you could extend how you're doing, or can you share where do you think you could improve your business? In any particular line of jewelry you carry, or any initiatives you want to try that you think if not, but you just hadn't had a chance to?
Well, we get our biggest ROI, initial ROI, or instant ROI off of our watches, particularly our men's watches, because we do have a couple of lines that we are the exclusive in Atlanta.
Okay.
The only place that you can buy a first line of this is here.
That's
can't-
huge.
Yeah, you can buy resales,
But
at
not
some
the
other,
original
but not
still
the
in the-
original still, yeah. And we get really good return on those.
I would imagine.
But our best lifetime ROI, which we focus more on a lifetime ROI than we do on an initial ROI, is with our wedding business.
Sure.
We are actually willing, I have seen Lee almost take a loss on an engagement ring or a wedding ring because of the potential he sees for that customer throughout the life. So we're willing to take a much lower smaller ROI on the beginning of that to establish that customer for life.
Right. And they come to you, obviously, because you've been here almost 40 years. You're exclusive to certain watch brands. You take on the challenge of making custom design rings. Your location is a very good one. I mean, you're right, right where you should be, I'm guessing, on that. And that's your only location.
Yeah, it is. We've over the years, we've thought about opening a second location. We're toying with the idea of opening a second location at the new, and I just pulled a total blank on the name of it, but it's in Alpharetta. There's a new big luxury shopping center that's going in up there off of Statesbridge Road, or not Statesbridge, it's one of those up there. And I know that Lee and Tom have been talking about that. But
very high-end shopping center.
Very high-end shopping center. So we're waiting a little bit more to see who all flushes out it's going to be in there, because it's, we do not want to be in a shopping center where we're going to be next to, not that there's anything wrong with them, but we don't want to be next to a Subway or,
I understand. Right.
It's got to be the right mix. That's why Buckhead works so well for us.
Yeah, that would be, I mean, if I were just to look at Atlanta and say, where would I put this jewelry store, it would be right where you are. And you've been at that one location for the same 40-year stretch.
It started out much smaller than it is. We've eventually bought some parcels around, but yeah.
We've talked about the partner customer for life, which is, I bet every business in the world would love to have something like that you're
But we know we can get them.
You know you can get them. And whether it's stay here at 11 o'clock on Christmas Eve or draw a picture of the wedding ring and there you make it for them. That's amazing. Talk a little more about I'd like to talk to you a little more about your current media mix, what you're doing. I mean, obviously you're doing postcards. Obviously you're concerned that there may not be going exactly to where you want them.
Right.
What else are you currently doing, or?
Oh yes, we are on television. We do television pretty heavily during specific times, peak times of the year. Christmas, Valentine's Day, Mother's Day. And believe it or not, Mother's Day is actually a bigger holiday for us than Valentine's Day.
Really? Now, I'll tell you, that totally surprises me.
Mother's Day is actually a bigger
jewelry buying event than Valentine's Day.
Yep.
I guess people get engaged year round.
There's a lot more mothers out there than there are lovers.
Okay. Well,
yeah. So Mother's Day is actually, Valentine's Day is very important for us, don't get me wrong, but Mother's Day is stronger.
What sort of things do they buy on Mother's Day? Pins, pearls?
Yeah, you buy a whole lot of different things.
Right.
So there's, the necklaces, the earrings, left-hand rings, bracelets. Bracelets were really popular this year for Mother's Day. Of course, we do have I wish we didn't have to have it, but we do have the Pandora line. I don't like it. Actually, none of us really like the Pandora line because everybody has the Pandora line.
Yeah.
But the Pandora line is one of those things that does get other people
drives traffic
into the store, and then we can sell them other things too. So, but bracelets, not just Pandora, but bracelets were really big this year for Mother's Day.
And David Yurman.
And David Yurman. Yes, David Yurman's always big for Mother's Day.
Yeah, that's to me. That's the linchpin of beautiful bracelets.
A lot of times for Mother's Day, you will see somebody purchasing that signature piece.
But like I said, David, and every year David Yurman keeps expanding their line. I mean, that's the basic piece.
Yeah.
But they add on to that, and it's just more and more, and it gets prettier,
more
and more irresistible every year. So you do TV, radio.
We do TV.
What else?
We do definitely do radio. We have billboards as well. I'm not a fan of the billboards, but the billboards are covered with 100% co-op. So it's kind of like, why not?
Do they do you Pandora Co-op for that?
There
or-
is Pandora Co-op for that, yes. There's also Breitling Co-op for that.
Right.
As well as Rolex. Those are just to name a few of them, but yeah, we do have some that will give us 100% co-op for billboards, which is almost unheard of in this in this day and age. So it's kind of like, why not?
Right. I have a customer, another jewelry store out of this market that buys a huge billboard, and when I asked them, it's like 100% co-op for Pandora. Why not?
Yeah.
So, you know.
I mean,
it's
all
free
I'm doing
money.
is supplying, you know, making sure that they put my logo on there the way that I want it, and I don't have to pay a dime for it. So.
Right. There you go. Newspaper, print, anything along those lines?
We have done newspaper in the past, and I see peaks and valleys with it. One of the things that really concerns me right now is I just, I see the readership and the circulation going down and down and down and down, and I just don't know that our customer is going to be reading it. You know, we're trying to bring in a younger customer because, you know, we have been here for 40 years, so we do have lifetime customers.
Right.
So a lot of our core business is getting older.
Right.
And, you know, you do reach a certain point in your life where you really don't need another piece of jewelry. Believe it or not, you do reach that place
I'd never, well.
in your life. But so we got to try to attract that younger audience,
Right.
and that's one of the reasons why I've kind of pulled out of newspapers, because I just don't see newspaper reaching that younger audience.
Yeah, I hear that from time to time. Well, you know, often. And I work for a newspaper company, obviously, that my primary focus is working with newspaper, also digital and mail pieces. But the newspaper business, the whole industry is changing, just like every business is. And speaking for the company I work for, we've changed, and we've gotten smaller, but we've also gotten more strategic about how we reach people and the demographic, the customer, the perfect customer that we pull. Typically, our customers are college educated, higher income. A fit for most businesses, and I think for your jewelry store as well. But at this point, you know, I'm not going to sell you a quarter-page ad in Sunday's paper because, like I said, I'm
Good,
trying
'cause
to.
I'm not buying.
I know you're not. I wouldn't. You know, that's not how I work.
Yeah.
I work as somebody that talks to people and sees what's out there and what we can do, maybe to help you overcome challenges you're facing. Now, you've mentioned that obviously you're doing a good job of attracting a customer for life. Mothers, you want folks to come in for Mother's Day, Valentine's Day, and our products that represent who I work for, obviously the newspaper. We also do a lot of postcard mailing to customer list. And, you know, I don't want to get ahead of myself and try to say, yeah, here's what you need to do, because obviously this is the first of, I hope, several meetings where I can kind of hone in on what your specific concerns are and how maybe we can help address them, especially celebrating 40 years in business, because that's a big deal.
And, you know, the 40 years is important, but 40 years doesn't roll around until February of 2014. I got to get through third and fourth quarter, particularly fourth quarter 2013.
Sure, absolutely.
So, I mean, I've got some plans that I'm starting on that, but as far as for how I'm going to promote it, I'm not even thinking about that yet, because depending on how much I get out of fourth quarter may determine how much I promote for the 40th.
Well, that makes perfect sense, yeah. I think everybody planning an anniversary, it's like, well, let's see how Christmas worked out first.
Let's actually see if we make it through Christmas this year to see if we're going to have a 40th, or if we're going to stop at 39.
I don't see that happening with everything you've got going. And I'm wondering at this point if there's something that you've given me a lot to think about, and obviously you've got the knowledge of the market, where your customer comes from, who you'd like your ideal customer to be, perfect world moving forward. I'd like to have a chance just to kind of look at this, consider it. Is there any particular media you're doing right now that it's closer to perfect than the others? You do a lot of TV, you said. Maybe not a lot, but you do some.
Yeah, we do a lot of TV. You know, I wouldn't say any of them is perfect.
Okay.
You know, all of them that we do, TV drives certain times of the year, other times of the year, I wouldn't put my dollars in it because I know it's a total waste. Summer, I'm not gonna put a penny in TV.
In the
It's not
summer,
gonna work.
right.
Summer, it's not gonna work.
Mhm.
Radio's a little bit different. Radio, I might do a little bit more in summer. So it's, there's not, I can't honestly say that there's one that just far shines above all of them. There's nothing that, other than my billboards, because I get 100% co-op for those, so those will not be coming down. But other than those, I can't say that there's anything that I'm doing that if somebody can show me that I could get as good or better ROI at a better, that I wouldn't make changes for.
Okay, that makes perfect sense. And I mean, the billboards, there's no reason in the world to tamper with that.
Yeah.
They just keep going and make sure the
They
logo
just keep
stays
go-
current.
It's kind of like the Energizer Bunny. They
You just keep going and going and going. What other questions? I mean, obviously you know who I am, who I work for.
Mhm.
Do you have any questions of me or anything you'd like some more information on?
Actually, I do have a question for you. We were actually talking about that just this morning. And why are you getting rid of AJC.com? I love that site.
We're not, actually, it will still be there. What we're doing, it will still be there, AJC.com. MyAJC.com, which is
Right.
starting today, will be free to subscribers if you get the print paper, or you will still get myajc.com. What it will do, it's a very small additional charge if you want to do MyAJC only on the website, but it's not going away. MyAJC.com will just be a way for you to access more of the stories, to have a more in-depth read of the paper, but you will still be able to access the AJC.com. So it's not going away. I mean,
Okay.
and let me assure you, and print's not going away either, but what we're doing is, in a way, kind of what you're doing. We are playing on our strengths as a 100-plus-year-old newspaper in this market, and taking a harder look and a closer look at who our true reader is and how they benefit people like you, customers, businesses like yours. So what I'd like to do is kind of look at this, what all of you told me, and come back maybe next week sometime and present just some ideas. And I promise you, I won't scream 40th anniversary more than 10 times.
Okay.
But there's a lot we can do. There are a lot of people, and you have a lot of connections in this market. We do too, as far as vendors and events and things that can happen to drive that woman shopper into treating herself to a piece of jewelry where she just, it's like, I want that, I've earned it, I want it, wrap it up, here's my Amex card. We want to, obviously you're interested in that, and always never neglecting your lifetime customer. So I'd like to just kind of put some plans together for you to take a look at, and maybe I could come back next Tuesday at 3 o'clock. Does that work, or should I?
Yeah, Tuesday at 3 will be good.
Very good. Well, you've given me a lot to think about, and I thank you for your time and look forward to working with you.
All right, thanks.
Thank you.
You're recording? Ready?
Ready.
Okay.
Hi, Pam. How are you?
I'm good, Lisa. How are you?
I'm doing really good. Thank you for seeing me again. Look forward to rolling over a lot of ideas with you.
Okay.
How did Mother's Day go?
It was good. It was good.
Good.
Yeah.
So now it's on to weddings and
Weddings
anniversaries.
and graduations and, yeah.
So then before you know, we're back at Christmas time.
Yes, we are.
Then we're looking at the 40th anniversary.
Yeah, I gotta get through fourth quarter
Oh,
first.
I know. And I promise you, I don't think the word anniversary isn't anything you're going to look at, but it was kind of the back of my mind with some of the things I'm suggesting to you.
Okay.
Ready to get started?
Sure.
Excellent. I have an amazing story to tell. I mean, you've done very well in this market and beyond. People that are learning more and more about your jewelry store. So I'm kind of taking a
I've
little bit.
always liked that picture.
Yeah, very nice. kind of the best of Atlanta right there in one snapshot.
Yeah, it always amazes me how the view from coming into Atlanta from the north side is so much better than the view coming in from the south or the
Agreed.
east. So,
Yes,
okay,
I
sorry,
agree.
I just took you down another path for a second.
That's okay. That's okay. We're back on 85 and headed towards Buckhead, so
Okay.
all is well. You're going to notice on page 1, I took some license already and came up with a slogan for you guys.
Mm-hmm.
Thomas Fine Jewelers, your jeweler for life. And I took that based on the fact that you kept telling me that your generations of shoppers, I mean, you're playing to the people that have come to your store 4 years, 40 years, moms, dads, grandpas, grandmas, the whole family. And obviously you want to take that and keep it going for the next 40 years and the next 40 years. So I thought, well, let's just come up with your jeweler for life and make sure moving forward, if this is something you like, we can make sure it's put in all your print ads, tagged on all your TV spots, billboards, etc. But I just, I thought, you've been around for this long, you've done so well, why not inculcate people with the ideas that you are the jeweler for life. They don't need to shop anywhere else.
I actually kind of like that. It's a little bit outside of my purview of being able to say what we're going to spend money on or not. So
Right.
I would definitely have to talk
Yeah.
with a few people to make sure that we were okay with adding that. But I kind of like it.
That's
so.
fine, thank you. Like I said, I was just mulling over what you told me about your business, and I thought, well, your jeweler for life. Gem of a jeweler seemed a little trite. Your jeweler for life sounded a little more in keeping with your...
And Lee does say that a lot, particularly when he's talking about getting somebody in for an engagement ring or the
Right.
early wedding planning stage.
So, this is just, and there's an awful lot to discuss, and we can discuss, but this is by no means everything. I had to stop
Okay.
myself at some point. But to kind of go back and look at what you told me in our meeting, we're looking for in a way for a consistent, of course, effective advertising promoting Thomas as your jeweler for life. Again, subject to that being approved. And you want to market, obviously you want to keep your current customers happy, but the point is to also market to the next generation. The young men, the young women that are looking to get married, that just want to buy themselves some jewelry, the next generation. You also said that it was an element of frustration to some extent that you're trying to get women, or you would like to see more women that are doing well, making their own money, affluent, buy jewelry from themselves as a personal reward rather than just have someone buy it for them or just go without.
Okay.
I can truly identify with that. Target younger demographics with consistent digital and mobile advertising. That's something you said you had a website, but it's something that we can take and grow the business and the site traffic on.
Yeah, this mobile, not feeling mobile at all.
No problem.
I don't see how mobile is going to be able to help us. You can't click on anything. You're not going to pull up your mobile phone to click on an engagement ring and buy it. It's not like a movie ticket. So mobile. I don't see how mobile could help us.
Okay, but you do agree that digital is something we need to dig into a little deeper.
We can dig into digital a little bit deeper. There are some restrictions that I have around what I can do on digital.
Okay.
Particularly with some of my vendors won't allow me to, and I think I mentioned that.
Okay.
But we can definitely look at digital.
Okay, that's fine. Again, this page is kind of daunting, but it just kind of paints the big picture and trying to hone in on what you like and what you think makes sense for your business, because obviously you know your business and what it's meant to the community for 40 years more than I do.
Okay.
But again, I'm just trying to come up with a program that makes sense for y'all, that kind of reaches the new generation and at the same time keeps your current customers on board.
Okay.
Another obvious thing we want to do is to reach out to the Thomas ideal customer in your primary trade area. You have the one store, and it's in a very good part of Atlanta. So again, we want to move forward to new customers, but obviously protect what you have right now. I'm also hearing or heard that you were interested in encouraging the business for other jewelers to introduce your exclusive line of jewelry that you create, that Mr. Thomas creates, that he has one-of-a-kind pieces, and you had mentioned that perhaps this might be something we could look at.
Yeah, there must have been some miscommunication on that particular piece, because the stuff that Tom designs is going to be only sold here, ever.
In this store?
In this store. Ever.
Okay, then
we
I'm.
will not ever sell it through anybody.
Okay,
else.
then
I'm not
that
sure
was.
how that. But.
Okay, like I said, it was just something that I understood that he was interested in promoting.
Yeah.
Okay, no problem. Then there's plenty of other things we can look at.
It wouldn't be as exclusive.
No,
as
yeah,
you want
I
to
see your
if we did
point.
that.
Absolutely. An idea I had, pre-holiday consultations with Tom, featuring the one-of-a-kind designs, and this would be in the store. I'm envisioning reaching out to your preferred customers, having them come in, do a one-on-one. Obviously, I don't know all the details about how busy he is, how much he is in the store, but again, it was just an idea I had that we could promote. He does have one-of-a-kind jewelry pieces that he makes for very special occasions.
Yeah, it's not a bad idea. I'd really have to see it built out a little bit more to understand how it would work.
Right.
This is not something that you're going to be able to do. I mean, he couldn't even do that for 100 people. And his work is really is phenomenal, if I do say so myself.
I'm sure it is.
But it's very time consuming, and it also is not cheap.
Oh, I didn't think it would be.
Yeah, so I would have to see. I'd have to see some more ideas on how that would be built out to see if that would be something that
It's feasible.
Yeah.
Right. We had talked about, and you had mentioned you didn't have a lot of confidence at this point in print advertising. That's something I want to address with you. Obviously, not to take away from everything else you're doing, but perhaps to build that business up. Perhaps borrowing from other media to ramp the business up with print ads, because I think I can make a pretty compelling case for our audience and the demographics that we attract. I Deserve It campaign. This was absolutely my brainchild. We do a lot of direct mail, solo mail, targeted pieces, and we have the ability to target within a geographic radius around your store, or to women that do business with you that you'd like to see them back in the store more often, and to buy something from themselves. So I was thinking about just a very to-the-point mail card that says, I deserve it. They come by, they look around, perhaps they get a chance to talk to Tom about what they're looking for. It would kind of set you apart, and it would also drive traffic, drive women, a target you're looking for, to come to the business and see what's there, rather than wait and hope that somebody takes a hint and gives them something for Christmas, anniversary, birthday.
I actually really kind of like that idea. I don't know that I necessarily would want to target it to our existing female customers because, well, we don't have that many that are buying for themselves. So are there ways that
we can find those women?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
We have, it's part of the AJC and, of course, Cox Media, but we have a division, and their business is finding market segments for customers like yours, all types of customers, ranging from people that sell Persian rugs to jewelers to people looking for a veterinarian. And we can pull lists. If you say, okay, I want to reach women within a 10-mile radius of the store or wherever, you kind of tell us what you're looking for.
It's more of a specific type of person than it is a radius to the store.
Okay, because you know where you obviously you know the
they'll
traffic.
drive. If we get the right person, they'll drive.
So we can target women. We set the income parameters working with you that make X amount, that own a home, that are college educated. The cream of the crop as far as women that might want to treat themselves to something special because they deserve it.
Okay. All right, so that might be something I'd like to see a little bit more about. But
Absolutely.
I'd like to see, you know, one of the things with our direct mail, well, I think I mentioned this to you last week, is that we only currently do direct mail to our existing customers.
Right.
And so we don't have to go out and buy lists.
Mhm.
So, and I'm a little concerned about the cost that's associated with
mhm.
that, because that's fairly expensive, isn't it?
It depends on the type of list. I mean, I don't know an exact price right now, but I
Okay.
can absolutely get you that information. And also, you would want to not inundate the market. You know, I think we'd want to be selective and not just see how many cards we could send out, because
No.
for something like this, ultimately quality is going to be quantity.
Right.
I'd rather have a good list and have
Right.
really good prime customers come in than have too many.
Yeah,
that are
I
not qualified.
actually could almost see this kind of tying in, you know, we don't do a lot of them because of insurance purposes, but I could almost see us tying this in with like an after-hours cocktail party
Right.
or something that would be very specific. So
Right.
that's, yeah, that. So
Possi-
if you could, my biggest concern right now is actually the cost that would be associated with that.
The list cost and the mail.
list cost and the
Right.
mail cost,
Okay.
yes.
I can absolutely get you some more detailed information on that. And this is something I've heard, I know of other jewelers, fine jewelers that have done. I don't know if you've ever thought about this or wanted to consider it. Have a loyalty rewards program. And that sounds like it could be a little maybe off your mark, but if we do it right and if we do it tastefully and on target, that might be something to consider down the road as you're trying to drive to the next generation of customers. Again, just an idea.
Yeah, I'm not really feeling that one.
Okay.
Number one, you know, $500 in a year for some of our purchases is, you know, not gonna
Move them.
move
Okay.
people. And with some of our pieces, 10% of one piece could be $500. So I don't know that that would be a lot of incentive for them to come
Okay.
back. But again, we don't really like to discount. You know, we do encourage loyalty through some other things. There's special events that they're invited to. You know, preview events. Like if we have a David Yurman trunk show, then
Right.
there might be a pre-show that you can come to before.
That's exclusive,
so
right.
It's very exclusive.
Mhm.
So we do encourage loyalty.
Mhm.
I don't see us encouraging it with money back.
Okay.
or anything like that.
I didn't know. Like I said, I've seen this, and I just wanted to
Yeah.
at least throw it out, because the more we can come up with and kind of fine tune and decide whether it's right for you or not, the better long haul this campaign will be. Also, and I didn't put it on here, but you said something else we could consider, and it sounds like you're already doing it. Before the holidays, before having an exclusive cocktail party or whatever, after hours, with your preferred customers coming in.
Yeah, we've done that. Done some stuff in partnership with the symphony
Mm-hmm.
before. So yeah, we already do some stuff like that.
That makes perfect sense. And you've gotten good response off of that?
Yes.
Excellent.
Yes.
Very good. Solutions, again, I'm thinking that especially during the holidays, before Mother's Day, before the wedding season, and even before Valentine's, to try and drive that traffic. ROP, which is a term for print ads in the paper.
Right.
We do some holiday publications around Christmas that would be affordable, I believe, and be something that would just further drive business and tell the world, hey, we're here, and we've got one-of-a-kind pieces of jewelry.
I doubt very seriously you'd ever see us do a full page.
Mm-hmm.
We're not, if you're talking holiday special publications, if you're talking special sections, we're not going to be in those either.
Okay. Have you ever done those? or
Yeah,
just-
we have.
And you were
but
not pleased?
No.
Okay.
No, it doesn't give us the exclusivity
Mm-hmm.
that we like to have associated with
Okay.
our name. The only way you would ever see me doing a full page would be if it was paid 100% by co-op.
Right.
I'd rather take that full page and divide it into 4 quarters
Right.
and use 4 different vendors
Okay.
and get it paid
Get
for.
it paid for. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Because Rolex does
and
co-op.
being consistent.
Mhm.
And consistency is much more important to me than a 1-time or 2-time big splash.
Very good. I agree. Sunday Living Zone, we'll talk more about that in a minute, but we have 4 zones that reach areas of our market. We have zones, I'm thinking 2 of them specifically for your product. They are available only in the Sunday paper. And they do a good job of driving traffic for women. It's an upper demographic female profile. Again, if we do the I Deserve It campaign, we might want to tie back to this. Again, I recommend quarter pages in the Living Zone over an extended period of time rather than going all out with a full page.
Yeah, I don't see the zone part of it. One of the things that I kind of liked about your I Deserve It campaign would be that we could be very targeted with that. And then if we come back and we do that in the Living Zone, it takes that exclusivity away from it. So usually in the past when we've run in the newspaper and we've gotten good exposure from it, and we get good results from it, is when we're in the A section, and particularly if we can be on page 3. That's when we see the best results.
What sort of things have you promoted in the newspaper in the past?
Oh, I've done Mickey Moto ads, I've done David Yurman ads. Yeah, I've done Rolex ads. Now I will do some of my Rolex ads and those kind of things. I will do those I used to do them in your business section, but you don't have that anymore.
We have one every day but Monday, so we do have a business section.
You have a business separate section?
Yes, we have business news every day but Monday. So, I mean, that was something else that I was going to talk to you about, Rolex Sports.
Yeah, we've done it in sports too.
Rolex Business for the men.
Because I was told that I couldn't, the person before you, probably 2 years ago, 3 years ago, last time I talked to anybody from Cox or AJC, that they had eliminated the business section. Okay.
But anyway, again, that's just, I want to play on what you know doing business here, that you know works, and just maybe take it up a notch and make it better. We're not married to any of these ideas, but I want some feedback from you as to what has worked in the past and what we can put together moving forward.
Okay.
The direct mail, we've talked on that for the I Deserve It campaign.
Yeah. Now, if I did decide to do this I Deserve It campaign, do you have the facilities and all, but if I decided to go ahead and lump it in with the existing direct mail that I have, could that give me any kind of benefits with long-term contract or anything?
For the cost break, is that what you're, what we can do, obviously we're not printing your cards right now, your direct mail pieces. What I would want to do would be get a sample of what you're using right now, your card, and we absolutely offer competitive bids.
I think you had one. Didn't you have one in your, didn't you get the David Yurman one that we sent? Isn't that how you came in?
Yes, okay, so that size. I beg your pardon, you're right. I apologize.
It's basically that size, that stock, that color. It would just be a different vendor.
Okay.
You know, sometimes it may be David Yurman, sometimes it might be Mickey Moto.
How often do you do your direct mail pieces?
On average, we probably do 6 to 8 a year. But it's much more, it's not like one every month or one every other month. So, you know, closer to the holidays, we may have 3 that drop. You know, we may have 2 that drop before Valentine's Day,
Christmas,
2 that drop before Mother's Day.
Gotcha.
So, yeah, so it
ties
6
around,
to 8,
yeah, you shoot when the ducks are flying, in other words, as far as hitting.
Okay.
Hitting, yes, that's a term I learned long ago from a publisher. And all it means is that we reach out to customers when they are ready to spend as far as optimum time. How many pieces do you print?
It varies. Some of our smallest distribution, we could be as small as 10,000. Probably don't do more, let me think back.
Total.
Probably our largest piece is maybe 50,000 pieces.
Okay.
Yeah. It's all pretty much to existing lists, so they're usually more in the 10 to 20,000 pieces range.
Well, I'd have to get an exact number to give you an accurate bid, but we can lump that into what we do with the I Deserve It campaign if we decide to move forward on that.
Okay.
And this is just a no-brainer, what we've already talked about. Coordinate your media effectively to manage expenditures during peak season. And again, shoot while the ducks are flying. I mean, obviously, you're going to spend more across the board going into Christmas, going into Mother's Day, than you probably are in September or October.
Right.
Obviously, you believe in a media presence year-round,
Yeah.
but we just want to embellish that and make it work more effectively for you.
Okay.
We've already talked about newspaper advertising. We do have.
So wait,
I'm sorry.
Can I go back and ask you?
Certainly.
So, do you have anywhere in here, how much you're proposing for us to do?
At this point, I
Advertising?
wanted to talk to you and see what ideas worked with you, and then get an idea of budget.
Okay. Okay.
Because
Go ahead.
you had a lot of things that you were mentioning to me, and I had a lot of, like I mentioned, there's so many different ways we can approach this. I'd like to come back when we nail down some definite things you want prices on and present a final cost to you.
Okay.
Because direct mail, obviously that depends on how many pieces, color, the list, the whole 9 yards. So I'd rather hear more back from you before I came in and said, you must do this, because we don't know at this point.
Okay.
Newspaper advertising, despite the changes in the newspaper world, we still offer a quality product to an upper demographic. We've already talked about, and you are a newspaper advertiser from time to time.
Yeah.
So at this point, I guess I might be preaching to the choir, but obviously I believe in print, and we have a core of advertisers, a lot of them jewelry stores, quite a few of them, that also believe in it.
Yeah. So these numbers are for Atlanta, or are they for the U.S.? What are these?
America, all of America.
They're for all of America?
Mhm, yes.
Okay. Do you have any kind of information like this about just Atlanta? Because obviously I'm not trying to reach all of
Yes, I
America.
do.
Okay.
Coming up.
All right.
Again, this is just kind of a stopping point to rehash what we had talked about. We talked about the slogan. You touched on, and I think it's a great idea, invitation-only parties to preferred customers. The I Deserve It campaign, co-sponsoring. This is something I don't know if you've ever thought about, but being in Atlanta for all this time, you know that there are quite a few women's events put on by the Chamber and other groups. You might want to, we could possibly reach out to them and see if you'd want to co-sponsor them. There are any number of people that could tell you what events there are. I can do some research and make some phone calls if you think that might be another way to reach the potential female customer we're after.
It's a possibility.
Okay. And the last one is definitely something that I miscued on. Again, I apologize. To invite other jewelers to look at Tom Thomas's designs. So we won't move forward on that. The AJC distribution, again, this is a high-value audience. We do have quite a large footprint, over 20 counties, but you were already convinced to a pretty good extent on the power of the newspaper. So we can just move forward from that. If you have any questions, be happy to answer them, but we do offer.
How much is it to do? I've seen those new ads where you've got like the ad across the bottom of the page. How much
Strip
are those?
ad.
Yeah.
It depends on the day of the week and if it's color, black and white. You're talking about in the paper?
No, I'm just talking about like I've seen on like the front page that have the strip
Strip ad at
across
the bottom. Okay.
Yeah. How much are those?
It depends on the day of the week. They're more expensive on Sunday, but I can get you some prices on that.
Okay. And that definitely would be our exclusive market, being on the front page.
Yes, it would. Next page is the audience page. You were asking me about the AJC demographic profile. Gives you an idea that we do indeed reach the upper income, educated, homeowning market in America. That is our audience. In Atlanta, rather. That would be our audience.
Interesting that your median household income on Sunday is significantly less than it is during the week. Why is that?
We have quite a few of our subscribers are single copy buyers on Sunday
Mm-hmm.
rather than have the paper delivered to them. So that would be a lower income.
Okay. Huh. All right.
This is just some more statistics
Whoa,
to daunt
lots of
you
colors.
with. But anyway, Atlantans consume news by platform. The younger prefer digital. The olders prefer print. So again, this just makes a case for maintaining a print presence and also considering digital. The second page, if you look at that, has fewer bars and to me is a little easier
That
to
one's
understand.
very confusing.
Yes,
Yeah.
I thought the second.
Makes me dizzy.
We don't want that. The second one shows that adding digital to your newspaper buy has a 23% more effective reach to adults. So, again, that just points to the fact that you need print and digital.
Okay. So this is if you run 4 Sundays. So
Correct.
it's not just a single.
Right.
Okay. All right.
Print capabilities. We've already talked about the living section,
Yeah,
Um,
I'm not interested in the living.
even quarter pages.
No.
You're interested in full run.
Mhm.
Very good. That makes it much simpler.
So if I'm either gonna go with a much broader audience and hit the full market because people will drive.
Mhm.
If I'm gonna do something targeted, it's going to be very, very specific targeted.
Like women with
Like-
higher end.
correct.
I got you. Okay.
Correct.
There's really no middle ground. It's all,
Mhm.
got you. Very, very good. Okay. Print advertising, again, I just kind of took it upon myself to come up with some headlines, just something to talk about.
Mhm.
Think about artistic expressions made to order. You have a vision, we can create it. Artistry and craftsmanship exactly to your specifications. Generations of satisfaction. When we get to the point where we design ads, do you do your own design of the ads or do you have an agency you work with?
I do some of it. A lot of ours is predicated by what co-op tells me I can and can't do.
Right. And moving on, we've already touched on this. We do commercial printing. We do customer lists, customized pieces directly to the market you want to reach. We've talked on that. And this next one does have just an approximate cost of your I Deserve It campaign. Depending on, assuming 1,000 per run, we could figure a price based on that. And again, I like the idea, and you seem to as well, of the I Deserve It kind of hitting right straight to home with the women.
So so to do it 3 times, it would be a total of $2,500, or is that $2,500 per drop for 3 times?
That would be $2,500 total, plus postage, obviously, plus any cost of the list. And obviously, if you do more, if we do all of your printing, then the cost per 1,000 would drop even more. But again, it would depend on how many pieces and size of postcards, etc. Digital, we all know that is a huge component of how we get our news, how we advertise, how our customers are advertising. Atlanta is a very technically savvy city. We all know that. Second most wired city according to Forbes, and ranks very high among tablets, internet users. Time's up. So we got to everything but the